get into this? Leafs lose. 3-1 to the Edmonton Oilers, right? To the Edmonton Oilers, who pretty much just had a 1-goal lead the whole game, right? Not too bad if I do say so myself. So I gotta fix this here. Holy jeez, it's dark. My goodness, there we go. Adopted Mexican. I like the handle. All right, I told you I'd be here. Well, thanks for coming out. To discuss the game, okay? This is where it happens every game, all right? As soon as it's done, we roll in here. AKZ's in the house. He can't even win without McDavid and Draisaitl. Yeah, Mr. Huxley, you're saying that they suck. They only have McDavid and Draisaitl. Listen, they don't suck. They played a solid defensive game as well, guys. They both kept each other under 30 shots for an entire game, okay? Yeah, and Spets has got to get that shot near the end. He knows that, man. He knows. It happens. You whiff on him in a moment of panic there, right, City Boy Falcon? So, no, I don't think the Oilers suck. They're capable of doing some real damage. They always have been. It's just a matter of, can they get over their own mental stuff? Oh, jeez. Kevo is the GOAT. All right, you are the GOAT. Thanks for joining along, man. That's the follow alerts, okay? They go off real loud in my ears, probably even real loud for you guys, too. Scares the crap out of me every time. So feel free to sound off with all that stuff, okay? I got them all set up, all right? King Sully in the house. Jark Clan's being represented. You know what I mean? Everybody's here tonight. I love it. Just chug the bottle. Oh, man, I don't even think I have any bottle left. Jeez. Ooh, redeeming those chat points already. Love it. So guys, this is what I basically think, okay? Like, if you want to get right down to it, I'll take a loss like this any day of the week if we're talking about a loss, okay? Just like I pointed out on Instagram right there, okay? I would rather lose just the way we did here tonight than lose after scoring 6 goals and having to lose like 7-6 or 8-6, all right? And all those goals look like they're a lot of fun, but when they get into high-scoring games all the time, it's because of a lack of defense. So I'm happier to lose this way. I know you guys are complaining about the penalty there, right? Like Kevo's complaining about it, and Adopted Mexican was complaining about it, I believe, right? And you know, like, it is what it is, man. Like, again, we can't blame the refs for 1 penalty and 1 goal against. You know, like, I still don't like all the penalties on both sides. I told you that, guys, this whole week I haven't liked how many penalties are getting called in each game, but it's the beginning of the season and they're coming back from COVID and they're just trying to scare the guys to make sure that they behave themselves, right? So I don't know when it's going to end. They will back off the whistle eventually, I promise you. But for now, man, like, it's kind of brutal, and you just got to deal with it. Both sides had to deal with it. I don't think all the Edmonton calls were necessary either. Did this one screw us over? I mean, yeah, right. But like, when the puck hit the ref against Montreal, that screwed over Montreal. Doesn't mean it's the ref's fault. And it doesn't mean it's the ref's fault for the call on this one. I don't think. You know what I mean? In my opinion, they're gonna get some wrong. Do you know how hard it is to ref? It's really hard, and especially at an NHL level. And I kind of like human error, all right? One of the things I love about sports is that they don't go to computers to analyze every last little thing. It makes for good debates like this, you know what I mean? It's kind of the charm of sports. We all get to argue as long as humans are involved making the decisions and making the calls, right? So I love it. Like I said, bad, unfortunate turnout for the Leafs there, but I still think they played well, man. I still think they played exactly how I've been wanting them to play for so long now, and it's finally here, you know? Sidley, you didn't watch the game, no worries. You're tuning in here. They lost 3-1. Pretty close there. They almost tied it up with an empty net, but then it went the other way and lights out, right? Spets is going to be kicking himself for that one, I'm sure. But I have no problem with the play. Like, he made a mistake, sure, but like, come on, that's a hard shot to bang in with like a fraction of a second reflexes, right? So no disrespect to him. He knows he messed up that opportunity. He'll be haunted by it way more than you or me. We'll all sleep nice tonight. He won't, you know? So yeah, Matthews with the cheeky goal as well. TGO is in the house, right? Would I be against the penalty challenge? Yeah, I really would. I'll call you AM for short. Yeah, AM. I'd be really upset if they start bringing in challenging penalties. Like, I'm done, man. Like, where do we draw the line? All right. Now, I agree that when you have those those incredible offside goals that happen like twice, where a guy's like 3 feet offside and they miss it somehow, it sucks when that happens. And I wish there was a way that, like, I wish Toronto could have the the ability to make that decision. When something's that far off, I wish they could just buzz into the arena like they do now, but I wish that was the only way to do it. I wish you couldn't go upstairs. I wish upstairs could come to you when it's egregious, when it's just bad for the game to have like Daniel Briere be off by like 4 feet and get the puck and score. That's bad for the game. So let Toronto buzz in and be like, hey, no, that can't happen. You know what I mean? We got our cameras, we got our trucks, we saw that. I know you missed it, but that's an egregious call. The coaches shouldn't have a say on anything as far as I'm concerned, man. I'm sick of them challenging everything. Have you guys seen a football game lately? Right? Like, you can't see a touchdown in football without waiting for the flag. It's coming. It's just a matter of which side got it, right? Like, and so you can't celebrate anything, right? And it gets ridiculous. So I don't want the coaches to be able to challenge anything. I'd rather take my lumps, all right? Did they screw up the call tonight? Sure. They did. But you can't use that as an excuse, right? Like, the Leafs could have had 5 goals by then. This was so late in the game. If the Leafs had played a little bit better on offense tonight, which, again, we'll get to that later, but if they had just played a little bit better on offense, converted on a few goals, that penalty wouldn't have mattered one bit, right? So you can't blame a ref for a loss in a situation like that. There are instances in history, if we look back, that you can blame a ref, but it is few and far between. But because people know it's a possibility, we like to jump to that because it's easier to say it's a ref's fault than say it's our own team's fault, right? Unless you just have no, don't give any F's about it like I do. Like, I love my team, guys. Like, look, would I be doing this if I didn't love the Leafs? I love the Leafs. I love the Leafs more than hockey itself, almost. You know what I mean? Like, it's a neck and neck battle. I really do. But straight up, man, like, you can't lose sleep over a loss. You can't lose a sleep after. I saw 10 years of them not making the playoffs, guys. Forget first round. I didn't see a first round for 10 years, all right? It's all gravy from here on out, as far as I'm concerned, all right? That's where I'm at with that. So, yeah, that's what I said. I think they played really well defensively. They're going to get their goals, guys. It didn't happen tonight, but do you realize they held Edmonton to like 12 shots or 15 shots, I think it was, till 10 minutes left in the period, in the third period? That's how low they kept the Edmonton Oilers in shots. That's great defense. That's what I've been wanting to see, because you don't get that from just having the 2 guys playing defense playing well. You don't hold a guy like McDavid off the score sheet for that long, or to that low or whatever. You don't hold Edmonton to that low of points and shots if only 2 guys per shift are playing defense. That took all 5 guys all the time, with Freddie coming in the big moments, which he did. I mean, he got kind of beat badly on that last goal, right? But again, not really his fault. It's a penalty kill. No one can really be blamed for giving up a goal on a penalty kill. Right off the bat, you're kind of screwed. So, no, I'm not disappointed with anybody tonight. It just sucks. It's going to happen. But don't worry, guys. If you noticed, right, I think they felt like they made McDavid bleed, like emotionally. They made him bleed a little bit tonight. They looked at him and said, he's a mortal man now, and they get to see him a lot more than just twice this year, right? So already they're kind of breaking away from being afraid of the great McDavid, all right, the great Draisaitl by his side, and they really stuck it to him tonight. Could have won that game. So I have no problem with how they played, and I expect that these are going to be some pretty intense games. Guys, honestly, if you don't know, because a lot of us, we don't really talk to fans outside of Leafs fans, right? Like, you guys aren't always doing the social media thing like me. You're not always coming into contact with anybody that's cheering for other teams. I come across all sorts of fans, all right? All sorts of fans. And if you talk to Edmonton fans about their history and how the team, or how the city has felt about their team for the past, 20 years, okay, they are like a West Coast Toronto. More so than Vancouver, more so than Calgary. If you want to know who's a passionate fan base out there that loves their team perhaps more than anything else they got going on, and keep getting screwed by bad decision after bad decision from management, talk to Edmonton fans, guys. Seriously, reach out to them, man. I feel for them. I really do, because they deserve a lot better. They're the city of the great one, the birth of the great one. They deserve better than 10 first round picks that have failed or whatever. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even say they failed, right? They were put into bad situations. Guys like Taylor Hall, wasted. And I'm hoping they don't waste McDavid. So that's how I feel about all that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, blue and white 23's in the house. What's up? And TGO, you were saying that, well, first of all, Am, you were saying you were feeling about the penalty thing. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously, if they're going to introduce the calls, then at least it's fair for everybody, but I would just rather not see it. Let's all just shut up and take our lumps, right? So, AM, you're kind of coming along with me on the ride for that one. TJO, you're saying you're not even mad tonight as a Leafs fan. You got to realize that there's plenty of season left, right? Yeah, all that stuff. And bringing in new guys, taxi squad. I mean, they lost Thornton to an injury along the way. Probably nothing major. Weird little check into the boards. He kind of took it off the ribs somehow a little bit. Man, I tell you guys, if you've ever played, right, it doesn't matter how well padded you are. Trust me, there are spots you're completely vulnerable out there. And every now and again, something finds a way of hitting that. And so I don't think the Edmonton body check on him was anything egregious. I don't think it was anything crazy. It was a simple check. Probably wouldn't have hurt most people. But I don't know if a stick or like sometimes it's a buckle on the pants. They got like metal rivets in these things, believe it or not. Again, if you don't play, you don't know what I'm talking about here. But there's like metal rivets to hold in your belt and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes just one of those things will pop into a spot right in between the pads. Your shoulder pads always have a gap along the ribs, believe it or not. There's usually like right where the skin is the thinnest and your ribs are the most exposed. Yeah, that's usually where there's no padding. But it's because when you're shooting, you know, you got a stick in your hand at all times, hopefully. So your arm kind of covers the sides. It's not so bad, but every now and again, man, something just clips you there. Oh, if it's a puck, it's the worst. You know, things like the back of your knee are always exposed. You know, the front is all nicely protected because you're going to take shot after shot. But, oh, yeah, man, random things can hurt, AM. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, did anyone else see, so Blue and White, you're saying, did anyone else see Marner almost get decapitated by Nurse? I was showing my kids that. They were still up. They watched the first 2 periods with me, and we saw the up-close shot of that, right? And my son was like, that's like 8 minutes, not 2, right? But, you know, that only looked so bad because after the mistake was made, which is getting his stick in and around Marner's head, basically, he's got the stick dangling down in front of him, right? The stick gets caught on the net as they're skating by, and it jams it, and that's what clips Marner's head, and his helmet goes flying off, right? If you look, I swear, Nurse didn't really have that much energy put into that. It's just that his stick was in the wrong spot, and when Marner's pushing forward and the net's pushing back like this on the stick, snap, up into the head. Still his fault. It's still an accidental penalty, and accidental penalties are still worth 2 minutes as far as that goes, right? Like, doesn't matter if it's by accident or not, you know, a penalty's a penalty. So he deserves 2 minutes. But I didn't feel like that was like him trying to like really go at Marner. And then Marner went and grabbed him by the arm later on because he got beat too, and ended up picking up a holding call against him. So I thought that was kind of funny. Oh, good night, AKZ. Thanks for always checking in, man. I know you don't have a lot of time to do this, so it's always a pleasure to see you come by. We'll see Edmonton on Saturday. Already, guys. Already. So it's going to be exciting. And I got no problem with how anything went down tonight. So you're not going to hear me complaining, other than the fact that it always sucks to see your team lose. You know what I mean? And, AM, you must have played too, eh? Random things can hurt, you're saying. Yeah, exactly. And your TGO, you're saying that Thornton's a weathered veteran. He'll be back, I'm sure. Yeah, man. I'm sure he'll be back. And where else are we at here? We'll see them on Friday? Okay, Friday. Yeah, there's no game on Saturday. That's right. Thanks for chiming in, Kev. And Matthews was showing aggression and leadership after Marner got hit. Yep. Giving the guys a little shot there and everything like that. Now, he's not going to be pushed around out there, you know? He's learning a bit of grit, too. He's learning it, man. I don't expect him to drop the gloves or even throw a huge hit. Because if Matthews throws a huge hit, okay, what that says is Matthews is now fair game for big hits as well. And you don't want Matthews fair game for big hits. You know? There's really only like maybe 3 guys on the whole team, maybe 2 that, as far as I'm concerned, are completely untouchable for big hits. And that's Matthews and Marner, to me. You could throw in Nylander maybe, because they're young, right? But like, ease up off them. Those are our stars. Now, granted, you can give them a little bump. It's hockey after all. I'm not asking for a free pass. But that's the old respect in the game, is we won't kill your stars as long as you don't kill ours, because we all need them to sell tickets. We need their skills in the game. And certainly the league does a fair amount of letting Marner and Matthews walk through people with their heads down. Honestly, back in the day, Marner and Matthews probably wouldn't even have the points they got, half of them, because they'd be getting crushed out there. But, you know, the league lets them get away with it. Like, the players let them get away with it. So we got to give that respect back. So I don't want to see anything happen to those guys, which means I don't really want them stirring it up to the point of fights or big hits. But certainly just being a little chippy, being a little dicey, being like, hey, we're not going to take that crap. And if you mess with me, I'm going to get my boy Simmons over here to come after you. You know, it's all good. Leafs playing back-to-back games on Sunday, and you're stuck at work for the games. Oh no! You're back-to-back games on Sunday, but they're playing like a doubleheader? Guys, I haven't even looked at this schedule. I haven't really. You know, it just keeps coming up so fast, you know? And I got my own things going on right now. If you guys only knew the things I'm going through right now, good things. But there's a lot on my plate right now that's all going to lead to awesome future stuff. So I kind of have to make sure I'm getting all that sorted out. We'll talk about that some other time. Maybe on the streams on Friday. If you don't know, we do this again on Friday no matter what, if there's a game or not. And we play video games that night. So if there's a game on, we'll talk about it first and then play video games. And if there's a game on, if there's no game on Fridays, depending on Friday, then we just do straight video games. So if anyone's new, that's what that's all about, okay? And yeah, you said you were playing since you were 4 and stopped around 16-ish. Yeah, that's what I did first too, AM. And then after that, I was about 19, and my best friend was like, yo, you should come play shinny with me and my dad. Like, his dad always organized it for the people at his work. They were able to pay it off through work expenses for a while there, you know, making it a social gathering for their staff, right? This is just pickup hockey, and I'd come out and play with them. That got me back into actually playing on beer league teams. So just because you stopped at 16 doesn't mean you have to stop for life. If you ever get the time and you have the means, I know it's not a cheap sport to play, but if you ever have the time and the means, I suggest playing shinny, playing some pickup hockey on a lake somewhere, or even just signing up for a beer league is awesome. You get the refs going and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, and you don't ever have to give up on hockey. Or you could do something silly like try and stream a post-game show after each game, you know? You're asking TGO there. You're asking if I ever play EASHL or just stick to be a pro. I play all the modes for the most part. Not really franchise, I guess you could say. I don't really play. I go through a lot of them. EASHL is one of the ones I almost never get to, though, just because I don't necessarily like doing the drop-in games. They can be volatile sometimes, and I'm not really looking for that kind of confrontation on the channel. You know what I mean? Maybe. I've done it once or twice. In fact, we met a good friend, Packard, Alex, right? Something like that. Sorry, bro. I'm trying to remember your handle, not, you know what I mean? Like, because you had it all. Long story short, we've made friends through a drop-in game, and that was really good. But yeah, so it's not something I do all the time. And my buddies that are on my ESHL team, that we actually have a team together, we very rarely get a chance to play together on a Friday. But if we get a chance to, again, we're all old guys, man. We don't always have the time. But when we have a time, we like to get together for an EASHL game. If you look at the YouTube channel, you might be able to find one or two if you were to search for it. I think I've done a couple videos on it at least, never on the live streams. Maybe even that too. I don't know. But we try to get to the EASHL. It's actually my favorite mode because you get to play it with friends, right? But I just never seem to have the time. Our schedules don't mesh up very well. Especially in the wintertime when there's not a lot for the kids to do, so you have to keep them occupied, right? And now with COVID, you really got to keep them occupied, right? They're bouncing off the walls. So, I mean, that's what I think about the game there, guys. I don't know what you guys think, all right? You guys are telling me already. You can feel free to chime in a little bit more. Just to know, I'm setting up the Discord. It's not up there yet. It should be up this week, okay? We're going to do Discord so that this can be a lot more interactive. I won't be the only one with a mic. You know what I mean? We'll do it kind of like a call-in show where you guys will be able to come over to the Discord page and we'll do the chat. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you want to be a part of that, you got to subscribe though. All right? That's how I know you're legit. If you subscribe, then I know that you're not just going to come in here and cuss and swear. I'm like, nah, I got no problem with cussing and swearing. But you won't be doing it just to troll us. You know what I mean? You won't be coming in trying to troll everybody just to get everybody fired up. Because to be honest, it's not going to work. Like, if you guys know me on Instagram, people try to get me fired up and try to get me, like, losing my you-know-what. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. I'm laughing every time that someone tries to get under my skin. If you guys only could see me behind my phone being like, this idiot thinks I'm mad, whatever. Like, it's funny to me, all right? So I just don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time on these post-game shows. Like I said, because I got actual videos to make and everything each night. So like, you know, I don't want to waste time getting into that here. I'll do it on Instagram, but I don't want to do it here. So again, if you guys want to be a part of the Discord thing, all right, it's gonna be called the Trubeleafers. So my name like this, but it's the Trubeleafers because you guys are included. Okay, this is Discord now. When it's me, I'm the Trubeleafer. Okay, when I'm on YouTube, I'm the Trubeleafer. Okay, but when we're part of the community, we're all the Trubeleafers. All right, we're all the Trubeleafers. So come on out to the Trubeleafers on Discord. It might already even be up. I don't even know. I don't know if you can see it yet. You can join the chat. We got a couple of the chat things. You'll be able to join that and kind of sound off on the game as it's going on in real time. Right? We can chat about it kind of as it's going there. And then we'll have even more to talk about for the show too, because I will have seen what your reactions were throughout the game. You know what I mean? And we can talk about that. So yeah, you can join the chat, or you can join the text ones right now. Anybody can. And then if you want to be able to call into the show, we'll have a little conversation. The Discord's got to be the way to go for that. You got to subscribe. If you subscribe, I'll send you the link to the voice chat. Okay, and then you'll be able to come on and discuss a little bit with me. All right. And if it gets ridiculous, it gets ridiculous. It's my fault. Unless you're a lawyer, and then I'm not responsible for anything. You got that? I got lawyers too, son. All right. So I think that's it. Okay, a couple more games. Like I said, I don't think I'll have it all. I have just never used Discord yet officially, so I have to run some tests with some buddies of mine. Make sure I know how to operate it right, and then when we do that, hey man, you're gonna be on the show. So if you want to be in, subscribe to this channel right now that you're watching. Subscribe. Okay, and that'll get you onto the thing. All right. So again, so everyone that was new that joined today, thanks for coming out. You know, thanks for the follow, Kevo. Thanks for coming by, AM. All right, I love the name, by the way. It's awesome. I often feel adopted just because I feel so strange. And yeah, Kev, I'm glad to be back, man. So again, after every game, if I can't for whatever reason, you never know. I got kids, right? If I can't for whatever reason, I'll let you guys know before the game is even over. So you don't have to worry about it. All right? Cool. Thanks. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll see you next game. All right? So that's it, guys. Bye-bye 2020. Hello 2021. And I mean it, man. I am trying to go for it this year, okay? So we're setting the bar real high. Aiming for that 1,000 subscribers this year. So if you like what you've seen so far and you just haven't gotten around to hitting that subscribe button yet, I'm telling you, let's go for it now. I can wait. Thank you.